Hey everybody, I'm finally back, and as you can notice, there are some changes around me. That's because I'm actually back in Singapore, and yeah, I'm kind of speaking as soft as I can because I'm actually doing this video at like it's almost 3 a.m. in Singapore. The reason why I'm actually doing this is because it's possibly the best time to do a video without my parents knowing because my parents are asleep now. And yeah, I mean, I, I I'm pretty secretive about what my life is on my social media um, with my parents. So my parents don't really know that I'm actually onto YouTube, I'm onto Instagram, I'm onto Twitter, and they actually didn't know I have two Facebook accounts. So yes. The things I do to actually get myself I don't know, socially media aware. Yep. And also the things that I do to actually get to know you guys more and know more on F1 and sharing my passion on F1 with you guys. It's a good thing because I enjoy doing this. And yeah, um well, so as I said, I'm finally back. My assignments are done, my exams are over. I'll have my winter break until the end of July. So um with these changes taking place, I really hope you guys are okay with it because um, it's not gonna be so loud, and I'm gonna try to be as I don't know, as sane as I can instead of being my insane self that I can be, the dramatic self that I can go all out when I'm alone. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, like, we have like my two dogs over here and yeah, a bear over there to keep you company for that 1 month. So I hope you guys enjoy their company, and yeah, I mean, it's better than an Atlas in my Brisbane room. At least there's some stuffed toys over here in replacement of that. So I'm totally talking crap, but what's new about me, and that's just me, I usually go way off topic because of my chatty self. But yeah, anyhow, so today I'll actually be talking about the Canadian Grand Prix. Um, this will actually be my first roundup video, and I have to say it's pretty challenging on my part because it's some serious stuff as compared to the other videos that I've done. Because this requires a lot of researching and a lot of watching back on my part to actually get everything, to get all my summary done so that I can actually talk about it with you guys. So thanks for the patience, and thanks to those that actually waited so long for this. I'm really grateful for some of you who actually messaged me saying that where are you, like we kind of miss you and stuff like that. I feel really flattered because I didn't expect those kind of responses from you guys ever since I started, like having that idea of actually creating a YouTube channel. I didn't think that I'll actually post more than one video like right after my first video, and having like so many people coming back to me saying that they want more from me. So I'm truly honored. And I hope that in the years to come, I mean, not in the years, sorry, in the weeks to come, my videos will be better. And yeah, I just hope so because at the moment I'm still rather camera shy, so can get a bit way off topic, and yeah, I can stumble a bit. So please do mind me and please give me more time on it. So thank you. So today, I've already come up with a list, so I'm just gonna follow it, and yeah. So basically the Canadian Grand Prix it's supposed to be pretty action packed, supposed to give you climax like throughout the entire race. But I have to say, like, this year, the race this year is kind of disappointing in some sense, and it's kind of it's kind of biased for me to say that because like this year's race is one of those that I actually watch that I was able to watch, like for the entire race and live as well. Because for it's not because of the time difference. That's the reason why I actually miss the Canadian Grand Prix, but it's also because like the week and somehow the period of time when the Canadian Grand Prix is on is when I'm actually overseas on holiday. So being on holiday, it's really hard to catch up on races live and finding, like the time to watch it on the same time, the same lifetime as um, the race itself. So I was really fortunate to be able to have like a good Wi-Fi and like being in Singapore to actually watch the race yesterday. Sorry, not yesterday. 3 days ago. So yeah. No, wait, not 3 days ago. I'm so sorry. Today it's Tuesday, so it's like 2 days ago. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Must have been like the lack of sleep, or maybe like it's because like videoing it in the wee hours of the morning. So please do mind me. I may stumble a bit, or I may say like some things that don't make sense. So yeah, so basically, so yeah, it was pretty anticlimactic race for me on Sunday, or for me it was Monday morning. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I had too high of an expectation, because Canadian Grand Prix always have a good reputation of really, really exciting races, and races that can usually top, like, like are usually in the top five of every season, top five best races of the season. But this year, somehow, I don't know, there were some good moments and there were some bad moments. It was like 50-50, I would say, like, because like the beginning and the end of the race, it was really exciting. We had like Sebastian taking over, I mean like overtaking the Mercedes, and like like at the first corner, and he went on to lead like a few laps, and then like when the virtual safety car came in, and then when it went out, that's when Ferrari kind of messed up for Sebastian's strategy and his lead. But we'll talk about that later, because like I said, I have a list, so I'm just gonna follow it, so that I won't make this video too long. It's gonna be long for sure, so just you still can go and pop some corns, and like prepare yourself some coffee or tea, and just stay by me. So yeah, so that's about it. And I don't know, it Canadian Grand Prix on Monday kind of reminds me of any street circuits um, races that we have on a street circuit, which is pretty much like Monaco. But surprisingly, Monaco was, I would say, more, I don't know, it was more dramatic than the Canadian Grand Prix somehow, because like the Monaco Grand Prix kept us on our toes like for every lap, whereas for the Canadian Grand Prix it was just like the first few laps, and then like after that it got stable, and then everybody was just like like moving some places, like one place at a time, or like just sticking to their positions and stuff like that, as compared to the Monaco Grand Prix. So I don't know, I have some mixed reactions towards the Canadian Grand Prix. It isn't the most boring race of all this season, for sure. The most boring of all, I think I would say, is the Russian Grand Prix. Yeah, that was pretty boring. That was pretty, I don't know, it kind of reminds me back again, like the first race of the Russian Grand Prix in 2014. Yeah, but the Russian Grand Prix again left me a bit disappointed, because like we had a very good race like last year. So maybe it's because like I have like too high expectations like right after every good race. So maybe I just have to calm down a bit and have like more lower expectations, so I won't get disappointed. But it's just that the Canadian Grand Prix has had like such a strong reputation for so long, so I thought that this year will be no different. But too bad it got to that stage where um you think back saying that, well, Formula One still has its flaws, like like Formula One is still really way back in terms of entertainment, and yeah, basically trying to ensure that every lap is gives like the audience like so much action, stuff like that. But too bad, um, F1 is still far behind in that. Admittedly, we have like some really good races like this season. Like, we had like had the Spanish Grand Prix, we had the Chinese Grand Prix as well. And actually, we had like plenty of good races. It's just that it's not as perfect as I wanted it to be at the moment because we still have some boring races. It isn't exactly like the 2012 season. Again, I will keep saying that because like 2012 is one of the best in this like in this era, I would say. So, but we're not gonna have that anymore, I guess, unless we have like teams that are pretty I would say like pretty close to each other in terms of speed and in terms of performance. Well, we have some teams like closing the gap right now to the Mercedes, but it's still not close enough. So the Mercedes are still really, really very dominant. So it kind of, I don't know, it kind of ruins the season a bit because like um it kind of makes the race a bit predictable and stuff like that. So too bad for that. But yeah, it's way better than last year for sure. Because like actually I have no idea. Is it even better than last year? Or because last year we had some surprises as well. Like we had like a Ferrari resurgence, and yeah, and we saw like some other teams, like some other midfielders doing so well. But yeah, it's pretty mixed. I mean, it's still early, I would say, in 2016. So let's just see how the season will bring us. So okay, so the first thing I'll talk about today is about Heineken. So basically, they have become like F1's latest and newest global partner. So that just means that they'll be the exclusive global beer partner of Formula One from 2016 on. I'm not sure what does that what is that gonna mean, because like does it mean that um the drivers, instead of being given champagnes, they'll be given Heineken beers instead, like, so instead of a champagne shower they'll have a beer shower or something. Well, I'm not sure because it's pretty vague. They just said something like being the global beer partner and like being um the global partner of F1, and that's it. So we will see more Heineken signs everywhere on track. That just brings me back to Heineken sponsorship. Apparently Heineken has been, I mean, the Monza Grand Prix, I mean, what am I talking about? The Italian Grand Prix at Monza will be renamed as something like Heineken Italian Grand Prix or something like that. And Monza isn't gonna be the only race on the calendar that's gonna have like Heineken. That they're gonna have the Heineken name. They're gonna have like two more on the calendar, which I'm not sure yet. That has to be confirmed at the moment. So let's see how it goes from there. But talking about Monza having Heineken as its sponsor and stuff like that, I think that's a good thing because like in some ways Heineken is able to save like the Italian Grand Prix, I guess, because like Heineken is such a famous brand, and being a globally renowned brand as well, it kind of helps like Monza in the financial sense. And I don't know, because like Monza is in is in danger. I'm not gonna say the other word. I'm gonna say the other J word because it's so hard to pronounce. So I'm just gonna change it to danger. I know I suck. Like, I'm supposed to be a journalist, and then I'm like mispronouncing words. Damn it! What kind of journalist am I gonna be? But anyway, I'm not gonna be like those kind of broadcast journalist, so I think that's gonna be safe on my part. I'm mostly gonna be like writing behind the scenes and writing for papers, but the papers won't exist then, so I'm gonna write for the internet, stuff like that. So yes, Monza is apparently in danger, and it's because of some really really political issues going on, like between Monza and the government, and also F1 as well. So I mean the FOM as well. So it's pretty it's pretty um I don't know, it's pretty unconfirmed at the moment. So let's just hope that this Heineken sponsorship, this Heineken renamed um Italian Grand Prix, will actually save them from being axed from next year on. So I don't know, it's just kind of crazy that the Italian Grand Prix is part of the X list. Like, come on, I mean, like, Italian Grand Prix, it's a classic track. It's been around like since the beginning of Formula One, and you're gonna take that off the calendar. That's like asking um an A-star student to actually like not study, not to go to uni. That's like a wasted talent. So I'm just trying to say that Monza is gonna be a wasted, it's gonna be, I mean, the Italian Grand Prix is gonna be a waste. It's gonna be so damn irrelevant that I don't know. I seriously don't know. I have no idea why am I talking, so I'm so sorry, guys. So yes, but yeah, I just hope that Heineken will actually help save Monza in that sense, and Monza will have a contract um to continue on the calendar from 2017 onwards. And if not, then I don't know, I'm not sure, because Monza is really good. But at the same time, if we can't have Monza, at least like San Marino, at least you can have it at San Marino at least. So because San Marino is still part of Italy, so long as you have an Italian Grand Prix on the calendar, I'll be fine with any venues that you guys are gonna have it in. So fingers crossed. Okay, so Heineken's done, and let's talk about Sebastian Vettel. Apparently, he's like the driver of the race, I guess. Like, he's been talking a lot about, he's been in the news for his famous seagull interview, like his post-race interview, where he crash gated Lewis Hamilton at the end of the race, like by an interview conducted by the Sky Sports team. So if you guys haven't watched it, you guys should watch it. I'll just put up the link at the bottom of my bio as usual for anything interesting, and you guys should go and link yourself in. So apparently, um, well, like Sebastian made some mistakes, like in the middle of the race, where he actually like he went off track and he was like skidding off and stuff like that. And he claims it is because of two seagulls on track. Two seagulls actually, like distracting him, and like them not moving anywhere else, them not flying off, but they were so insistent of like staying at that same spot, where Sebastian had to like avoid them and like get out of the way. Yeah, and as a result, he kind of lost out to Lewis Hamilton. It's really funny where he actually gave his reason as that, and he kind of joked to Lewis Hamilton saying that it's because like I had to give my own reason to say that why I actually lose out to you in the race when I could actually win the race itself. So he gave the reason of the seagulls, and it's pretty funny because I think if he wouldn't have mentioned that, nobody would have realized that there were seagulls on track, and that that it so happened that he actually skidded off track because the seagulls were there. It kind of makes sense though, like well, he has to mind the animals, right? He has been saying that for in the video like countless of times, like saying like you have to mind the animals, like they were being such annoying stuff, being such annoying animals by um being on my racing line and stuff like that. It's really funny. So I mean, it's good to see like all of this like in F1 because like it's so rare to see moments like this, moments of actually listening to like funny moments, and yeah, like funny and the more lively and fun side to F1. So I'm really glad that Sebastian actually came up with that. And although it's utter, utter silliness, but it still brings out like Formula One as a whole, and it kind of makes me, and I'm sure like most of you believe in him, like saying that yeah, what bastards, what bastards of those seagulls to actually be on track, for actually like ruining Sebastian's chance of actually closing the gap to Lewis Hamilton and maybe possibly like overtaking Lewis Hamilton at the final few laps or something like that. But well, it's I don't know. Sebastian was saying something like the team shouldn't be blamed, and that like the car is getting better, like with those upgrades being um those upgrades being implemented like in the Canadian Grand Prix onwards. So he was saying something like the car was getting better, like it felt powerful, it felt more powerful. It seems like Ferrari has finally gotten the package to actually like close the gap, um, you know, with Mercedes. I mean, yeah, I mean that's true, but I mean it's still the team's fault to actually like come up with that strategy. I mean, like come on, um, why would you actually do a strategy so why would you do your pits so early? I mean, yeah, it's true that you guys had a virtual safety car at that moment, but it's just a virtual safety car. It's not like a safety car where it's gonna go on for a few laps. Virtual safety car is gonna go like just a couple of laps. So for them to actually call in Sebastian during the virtual safety car is a bit of a race, like you see, because like once they call him in, the virtual safety car got off. So it's like it was a pretty much wasted pit stop, and it kind of cost their pit stop. It kind of messes up their pit stop strategy as well, because like in the end, Sebastian had to pit at a very odd moment, and then like it kind of kind of changed his lead, and like he kind of took his lead away, and that's how he ended up second. He was lucky to actually got onto second. Like, can you imagine like those those mistakes could actually cost him a podium position possibly. So I was really frustrated at Ferrari, and I don't know, like some people were saying that Ferrari shouldn't be blamed. Sebastian should be blamed instead because like it was his call and stuff like that. But I don't know, like to me, the Canadian Grand Prix wasn't the first time that Ferrari actually like made these kinds of silly mistakes. We had the Australian Grand Prix as well. Like like Sebastian once again overtook like the Mercedes to lead, but then just because like Ferrari came up with those silly um I don't know what has gone on with their minds, those kind of strategies, and then they kind of got Sebastian off the lead again. And then like the Spanish Grand Prix as well, like well, it was Max Verstappen's race for sure, but they could have actually like gotten, it was possible for them to actually win the race as well, but well, because of Ferrari and their strategies, and then they end up second and third. But I don't know. It's all these little minor mistakes. You see, like it causes them their world championship, and that's how I come back to this topic. Like what are the chances of actually Ferrari getting their like winning the championship, the constructors championship this year? I think it's just gonna be really very slim right now, because like as you can see, Mercedes have actually like gone up to 223 points, and Ferrari is like 147, and Red Bull is 130. The gap between Ferrari and Red Bull are getting closer, and especially like as you can see how dominant Red Bull is um, in the past few races, with especially with their new Renault engine upgrades. Seems like the Red Bulls are actually approaching stronger and stronger. So we can see like some competition going on in the next few races for sure. And I mean, who knows? Like if they keep it up like that, um, they might come back again like in 2017 with like a stronger car, stronger team, and with their lineup, they can be like back to their dominant years again. So I think Ferrari, uh, Ferrari. So to Elena, who actually asked this question, I don't think Ferrari. No, not to Elena. Sorry. To this guy who asked me on Snapchat on the chances of them winning the constructors championship, I would say it's very very unlikely. Like as long as Mercedes have like two drivers earning points, like as long as they are in the top 10, they're still gonna lead like the other teams like by a mile. So yeah, it's kind of hard. And yeah, that's about Ferrari. And then Elena asked me something about Kimi Raikkonen. Like Kimi Raikkonen has been struggling in the race. As you can see, like he started from six and he still ended up in six. But you saw him like dropping off, like from the sixth position, like down to a few, like to many positions downwards. So basically I studied up and he kind of said that um well you, well, as you can listen to the team radio on Monday, he was pretty frustrated with like how the team actually like instructed him to do, because like um he was in between like Valtteri Bottas. He was in front of Valtteri Bottas and Daniel Ricciardo at that time, so he was actually fighting with two people. He was at that position where he's like he has to save his tires, but at the same time he has to save his fuel as well. So basically his reasoning he was trying to say was he was struggling to keep those two drivers behind him, and like the team was asking him to slow down, but by asking him to slow down, he was actually struggling to like retain the heat in his tires. And I mean, like cold tires aren't the best optimum like temperature to actually like get yourself on track and get the speed you want. So his reasoning was saying like, when I had to slow down to save the fuel, the tires would cool down, and then I struggled to make them work. I lost most of the race on that, trying to get the tires to work. So Elena, that's how Kimi actually said that. Um, it's I think it kind of makes sense as well. Like it's not his fault to actually like um do so bad in the race, because like he did well in the sense that he kind of made full use of the strategy, and he also make sure that he didn't crash out this time or make like those silly rookie mistakes. So that's all good. I guess he was just trying his best, and admittedly, I mean, as you can see that weekend, he hasn't been doing that well during the practice sessions and qualifying. So yeah, like so I wasn't really surprised to see Kimi Raikkonen, like not close to the podium at all. I was really, really actually glad that he actually managed to get into top 10, which was really very good on my part. So yeah, that's about it. So, but Kimi Raikkonen, I would say he's a really good driver. He still has the speed in him for sure. Like as you can see from Spanish Grand Prix, yeah, he's still got the speed. It's just that I don't know. It's just because like it has to depend on the track as well. Like some tracks suit him and some tracks doesn't suit him. So yeah. So when he's on the track that suits him, he can actually perform really well, and then like he can get the team like really crucial points. So that's really good. So Kimi still got the potential in him, and I think he still deserves to be in F1. It's just that he's always been the unlucky one. So too bad. So Kimi Raikkonen's done, Ferrari's done. So talking about Jenson Button and McLaren, well, Jenson Button has had a very good name in the Canadian Grand Prix. Like um, he's had such a messed up race and he still like managed to win the race and stuff like that. He's had everything thrown at him, like literally every shit thrown at him, and he still manages to do so well. But over last weekend, like on Monday during the race, he didn't really do so well. Like he kind of had to retire because of like some engine failure. He had smoke coming out from the back of his car, and then like yeah, that was when the team realized like had to tell him that okay, you had to get out of the car. We can't make you race on because you apparently your car has an engine failure, which is pretty sad because like um I feel sad for Jensen and the team generally because like Fernando also had issues on race day. It's generally a day for McLaren to forget, to move on, to forget. Um, because like the Canadian Grand Prix is actually the first time whereby the team did not get either of their cars into the points since China. So that's pretty sad because like from China onwards, that just means like from China onwards they actually had like like at least one car in the points. So well, to have it and like the last race which was in Monaco, right? In Monaco, they had like two drivers into the points, and then coming into Canada without like without any points at all, it's pretty heartbreaking. I can understand their pain because like they had such such good performance, such good results in Monaco, only to come to Canada, to go back to square one again, like thinking like, oh right, like coming back to reality, saying that McLaren still have their issues, like with their power, with their units, with their car parts and stuff like that. So it's pretty sad because like both of them are world champions and yet they have to go through all this shit. I mean, like even Fernando Alonso was so damn frustrated on race day. He was like, even though there were like I think like about 5 more laps to go, he was talking over to the team radio, like asking them that can I just stop now? Like that's pretty bad because like usually no matter where, no matter what, the drivers will actually like the drivers will try their utmost best to like to finish the race at least. But Fernando was just so ready to give up already, and knowing Fernando, he's not one to give up. So their frustration are real. I just hope McLaren will do something about it. I mean, if only they can keep up to what they had like in Monaco, they I mean they can't win the world championship in either of the categories this year, but like if they keep up with that, they who knows, they might just win the championship like next year. Not next year, like 2 years from now maybe, because next year is a bit too soon. Next year I'm just hoping like like they have like two of their drivers actually consistently making it to the points and not losing out to it. So that's my wish. So let's see how that goes. So that's done. And well, okay, let's talk about Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. Like basically they had like the first lap crash again, so it's pretty much like them like colliding and clashing with each other on the first lap. So well, what's new? And then like it so happened that the two of them are teammates, so it kind of gets a bit like dramatic. Like everybody was having the blaming game again, like saying that Nico was too whiny, like Lewis Hamilton was doing the right thing, or like Lewis Hamilton was doing the wrong thing, and then Nico Rosberg should have been given like the lead instead. I don't know. For me, I personally feel like all of this is just utter childish. All these clashes should have been avoided, especially since these kind of clashes are actually with your team member. Why do you have to like keep crashing into your team? If you need to crash into anybody, just crash into anybody else, but not into your teammate, because Formula One is pretty much like a team sport as well. Like, you have to make sure that your teammate actually finishes as close to you as possible, so both sides will actually benefit from it. But I don't know, Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg aren't really exactly into that kind of system. They're just like really very individualistic people, I would say. I'm not saying that, you know, that's bad or whatsoever, but it's something they need to improve on. It's something that Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg, and Mercedes have to like sit down and actually like have this kind of discussion, saying that, guys, you guys like set your differences aside, and then like work hand in hand together and just like bring the team home with the maximum points you can have. I think you know that's what Mercedes lacks. That's what the teams lack. That's what the drivers lack. So I just hope they can. I don't know, because I'm not really keen on a Mercedes domination as well. But it's just that as an F1 fan, it's best if you actually respect your teammate, no matter which background, no matter where, no matter which stage of life you're in. So let's see how it goes. Let's just see how it goes from Baku onwards, from the European Grand Prix onwards. Let's see if there are any more clashes in between. Let's just hope not. But yeah, I mean, it makes the race exciting somehow. Fortunately for them, like in the Canadian Grand Prix, they didn't have any of the drivers retiring, so they should actually be, like um pleased with that and actually move on with like with this in mind, saying that I can't um like cause these kind of mistakes again to my team, you know. But let's just see. So with Lewis Hamilton's win and then like Nico Rosberg's fallout, it kind of narrows down the championship already, like the drivers' championship. So now it's like Lewis Hamilton is just 9 points away from Nico Rosberg. Kind of means that the season has just started somehow. So it can get kind of interesting, like from next race on. So let's just see how that goes. And so okay, that's done. Valtteri Bottas and Williams. Well, it's no surprise because Williams somehow. I mean, the circuit somehow is in Williams' favor because like it is a fast track with long straights, which is really good for Mercedes powered engines like Williams. So yeah, I mean, seeing that they also did so well in the last race in Canada, which was last year, um, it's possible. Like, I was expecting really, I was highly expecting them to actually make it into top 5. Clearly, they could have with with Felipe Massa, but too bad he had to retire because of this water system issue that caused him to that kind of affects his power unit to overheat. So, and it's good that the team actually decided the right thing by asking him to come into the pits to retire, because they didn't want to risk damaging the power unit, because every time you change the power unit in the next race, well, you after like a minimum of, after the allocated number of times, you actually get fined for it. So yeah, it's really good that they definitely did the right decision on that. And seeing that Williams has been having the most consistent and fastest pit stops ever, well, it's safe to say that that has paid off for Valtteri Bottas and the team. Valtteri Bottas's podium finish is actually the first Williams podium since Mexico last year, which was pretty long ago, and that was also Valtteri Bottas' only win since 26 since the Mexico Grand Prix again. So that's really good. It's nice to see a fresh face on podium, and Valtteri did well. Even Felipe Massa did well. Unfortunately for Felipe, he had to retire. But fortunately for Valtteri, he actually boosted the confidence level for the team, and it kind of sets like the team forward to actually work harder and to give them hope that like nothing is all lost and there are still opportunities for them to actually like fight with the other teams. So yeah, that's good. So yep. So right, so I think I've come to the final part. So this final part is basically on the driver of the race. Driver of the race was announced on Monday, sort of like Monday night or Tuesday. No, Monday night. Yeah, I remember it was Monday night, and apparently the driver of the Canadian Grand Prix is Max Verstappen, and I was like, what? Are you serious? Like, I mean, okay, to be honest, like I don't hate Max Verstappen. It's just that I find him, I don't know, he's one of the most overrated drivers ever. Like, I know he's young, like, he's the youngest driver of them all. And he's also, like, one of those drivers, like, who actually proves himself, like, age doesn't matter. And that, you know, he can actually fight with the seniors and stuff like that. But, I don't know, it's just because of all those little knickknacks, and then like the news sort of like amplified it and kind of makes him like the star, and like, oh, he's gonna be the next Sebastian Vettel, or he's gonna be, oh, this is the latest one, like, oh, he's gonna be the next Senna or something. Like, come on, I mean, yeah, he can be a Senna, but don't ever compare. I don't know, for me, my personal opinion is you can never ever 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 compare a driver to another driver, because that's just so disrespectful unless you have proven right enough. But the thing is, well, yeah, Max has proven himself, like, like, um he's doing the right thing, and he knows what he's doing, and he knows how to race, and he races well. But at the same time, it's like, it's not up there yet, I would say. Like, he still has a long way to go. And I don't know, I mean, he's just too overrated, I would say. Like, everybody is just over him, whereas like the other drivers, like maybe like Carlos, has been ignored, has been under the shadow of you know Max Verstappen, unfortunately. So, and especially ever since he moved over to Ferrari, not Ferrari, sorry, has moved over to Red Bull, and like work from there and stuff like that. And he's been getting like really very good results. It kind of like affects Carlos a bit, for sure. I mean, especially like, I don't understand, like, why is the driver of the race for Max Verstappen when like he started from P5, then he moved on to P4. It was just, I don't. It was just a year of difference. I mean, not a year. Sorry. You see, told you I'm tired. I mean, not a year. Sorry. It's like a position of difference, and then he's like, okay, fine. He did some overtakes and stuff like that, but I would say that the Monaco Grand Prix actually, was a better race for him, although he crashed out and he had to retire from the race. But I kind of proved that, he started from the pit lane and he got into top 10, which was a very, very impressive, like move from him. But in Canada, he was just like from P5 to P4. It's just a one lap, like one position difference. Like, why didn't Carlos Sainz, why wasn't Carlos Sainz, like picked instead? Because like I voted for him. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who voted for him. So, I mean, it's actually his fourth time starting from the pit lane yesterday, but it was his third time. You see, can you just see how consistent he was? It was his third time to actually, like get into the points yesterday. So it was a quite massive, like change and massive display of, like superb performance by Carlos Sainz, and yet Max is again overshadowing Carlos by winning the driver of the race, which I just find it really pointless. Like, it doesn't really make sense at all, but that's how the people voted anyway. So I don't know, maybe. But to me, Carlos Sainz is definitely the driver of the race. So yeah, very unfortunate for him because like as time is ticking by, there'll be very less time for you to actually um get into F1 and stuff like that. So Carlos is definitely older than Max, and he's definitely on the line of being a good driver to actually get retained by Red Bull. So he was doing a good job, but then the news again got distracted by Max Verstappen, and then like they kind of ignored him, and I kind of hate that as well. Like just besides of Carlos Sainz, they ignored like other people. They are just so into Max Verstappen. So it's just like Max Verstappen here, Max Verstappen there, Max Verstappen everywhere. I mean, the more I listen to it, the more sick I am. If it actually, if it is an article on his ability and to prove that he's like the driver of the future, like the most excellent and most consistent F1 driver of the future, like a possible F1 world champion as well, then I don't mind. But the thing is, it's not. It's the world is weird. But anyway, yeah, as you can see, I'm pretty tired, and yeah, I've been talking crap. I think I've been drifting off a bit. So yeah, um, so I'm pretty much done with my video, I guess. And yeah, I definitely, there's so much I can definitely improve from this video. So it's really crappy, definitely, because I'm kind of losing track of my time, and I'm kind of losing out to the battle of sleeping. So yeah. But anyhow, I just hope that you guys enjoy my commentary on this, and like on my opinion on some of the critical topics that in the Canadian Grand Prix. So yeah, this Canadian Grand Prix video is specially dedicated to my That One Canadian Fan on Instagram and my YouTube. So oops, I kind of forgotten your name, so just give me a few seconds while I do some search up on it. But at the moment, the next race will be in Baku, so that's just this week. So I guess it's really exciting for sure because it's a new race and stuff like that. And yeah, not expecting much again because it's it's a new track and it's a street race and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna go in, I'm just gonna watch the race with low expectations, thinking like, okay, it's just gonna be any other ordinary race. It's just gonna be like another Mercedes like domination and stuff like that. So let's just see how it goes. But yeah, okay, I found out your name, so I'm so sorry. It's just that, damn it, the lack of sleep is just getting into me. So it's like I can't really remember stuff. So well, this YouTube video is dedicated to Wade, oh Wader. It's like oh Wader Satina, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, thank you for your patience and thank you for your time. And yeah, so I know this isn't probably the best video I've ever produced because of the lack of because of the volume of my voice and also like my, I don't know, it's just me. I don't even know what I'm talking about at some point of time, so I just apologize. But yeah, thanks for watching the video. So just feel free to like, feel free to subscribe, feel free to comment or anything else. Feel free to actually compliment it, or feel free to actually like give me some feedback as well, because that's what keeps me going. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys most likely either, I don't know, if there's anything up for this week, then maybe I may post about it before the European Grand Prix at Baku. But if not, then I'll see you guys next week. So bye.